What's up, guys? We are back once again. We're going to be talking about Loki, the very first episode review. Now, again, if you guys have not seen this, I highly recommend you check it out. But we do have this is the third installment within the recent months before movies start rolling out for the Marvel MCU. But now we have Loki. We've had WandaVision, we've had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now we have Loki, and this I will say was very interesting because this has to do with, obviously, it shows events from 2012 for the very first Avengers movie, where again the Avengers were taking the Infinity Stones. Loki tries to escape. He tries to go to some unknown area in Mongolia, and then he gets captured by the TVA. Now, when he does get captured, they, of course, he doesn't really know anything. They put almost like a belt around his neck that is controlling his movements, where he can just, if he tries to escape, they can just press a button, he'll come right back, or just hold him in time, where it just holds their entire time frame. Now, when they bring him back, he goes through a major process where they disclothe him what he's wearing, they put him in like regular, almost like a actual prisoner clothing. And then if he's an actual robot, or if he's said all these things, and then he goes upon trial stating that, he didn't do any of these things, and what he's accused of, and he tries to do his powers, he's unable to do any kind of powers, because apparently with this, I would say Time Bureau pretty much is like the highest of where you can't do no magic. And he later finds the Infinity Stones, that there's so many there from, I guess, different timelines, that they just collect them, and they're not as powerful there as it would be in the ordinary world. So it's interesting to see where at some point in the episode that he is seeing, hey, look, the Infinity Stones are nothing here. And we get introduced to Owen Wilson's character, Mobius. He is a field agent for this company, and he's coming across different times within history that different units are being killed, and he's unsure why. And I guess he thinks Loki can help. So he puts Loki through almost like a psych evaluation of what he wants out of life, why he wants to do this. Does he enjoy hurting people? What he wants to be king of? And going through a big psych evaluation of things that's actually happened, he informs him, hey, look, everything that you're doing, or that you are seeing on this film, because he shows them films, and basically that we do see later on within the episode, he starts looking at different things from the first movie of Avengers, and then also in all the Thor movies. Even when he saw his father die and his mother died, he didn't believe that his mother died because of him, and he was extremely angry that he thinks, oh, like I killed my mother, and it really does eat at him. And then when he does try to escape, he later goes back to the film and starts looking at everything that happened to him, and he basically now knows, hey, no matter what I do, apparently it is already written for what I'm supposed to be doing, and apparently no matter what you do in life, that the timeline that is set for you is set for you. You can't outdo that. And now, seeing of how he dies, and seeing how him and Thor actually got close again, and him losing both of his parents, and then losing Asgard, and losing his life, he actually admits to he does not like hurting people. He does not want to hurt people. He wants to do better, but he doesn't know how. And he's to the point where he's just so used to hurting people to get what he wants, or was needed to do it, to do whatever that needed to be necessary. And he even tells him that there's a variant, which is what they're calling them, when someone, I guess, gets that messes up the timeline, and they have to come in, and these units come in, take care of the variant, and they plant basically a bomb to reset the timeline to where it was supposed to be before this individual did whatever he or she did to the timeline to make it their own, and that way they can be fixed. And there's I think 2 teams killed, and at the very end we see someone in a cloak. Don't know who it is, but apparently almost character is saying that it is Loki. He just kind of looks at him like, what are you talking about? So unsure exactly if it's another time version of Loki, or if it is someone that maybe Loki knows, or anything of that nature. Now, again, this episode was incredible. I will say that Tom Hiddleston did an amazing job. Obviously, returning as Loki, very comedic. There's a lot of comedy moments in this episode, and I think that's what works with him and Owen Wilson, because there was even a scene where I guess where him in the airplane that he was doing like he looks at him, he says that you were acting like DB Cooper. That was, and he says, "Oh, well, I lost a bet by Thor." So there was a lot in this episode that was big comic relief, and I think that's the reason why Owen Wilson does work in this, because again, he's more of a comedy actor than a action star, and I think with this mixed with comedy as well as action, I think that's what's going to work for this show. Again, it's one of those where you can take serious moments, but at the same time, it knows how to be, I guess you would say, playful, to where it could be funny. It can't be as enticing, but at the same time, it will come back around and be serious, and then it will go right back to being funny, and then go back to being serious again at certain points in time. And I think that's what really works with, of course, Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson in this show now, that it will be one of those shows where you'll be like, okay, it's really funny, and then it's going to hit you where it hurts, because it will really show you, I guess, a big change in Loki possibly, and maybe he can have his own timeline rewritten or go back to maybe the things were, and actually we can know more about this agency of the TVA, exactly how powerful they really are, because apparently this company is extremely powerful, the one that created it, and obviously we're unsure who is behind killing these units, but that's part of the story that we're going to be seeing in this series. But overall, very enjoyable. Seeing Owen Wilson return in something very different. I think they made him look a little older in this. I'm not sure if they did some hair coloring or whatever, because I don't know if that's really his actual hair or they had it colored. But it was good seeing him in something a little different, as well as seeing Tom Hiddleston return, obviously, as Loki. But either way, very enjoyable. Will I continue watching it? Yes, I will. Will I be reviewing every episode? Yes, I will. Unsure how many episodes it's going to be. Don't know if it's going to be 10 episodes. Don't know if it's going to be probably, however many, like 13, 15, something like that. I'm going to have to look to see how many episodes it's going to be. More than likely, this is going to be a limited series, just like how it was with WandaVision, as well as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Either way, definitely going to be enjoying this. Can't believe we're already in June. The MCU's been taking off all year, and it continues now with Loki. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing, leave a big fat like on the video. I'd greatly appreciate. Gets this video out, helps get the YouTube algorithm. Also, click notifications so you guys are notified every time I upload. But either way, let me know what your thoughts were about Loki down in the comments. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.